What's going on? Welcome back, ladies and gents. I'm Lee Fex. We're in the real world. I'm known as Brody Moore, and this is Brody's Breakdown. I got to work on that. It needs to be a lot better. We have a series on our hands that was Flipside versus Resident. It was a great series. If you haven't seen it, make sure you get back and watch that. A couple clips here I'm going to break down and try to tell the story of what you did miss out on and why the series went back and forth as it did. We're going to start off on Resident's side. These guys came out with so much power. They came out with speed, precision, and Flipside had to answer that. Now the question is, what did Resident do to really get themselves to that point? I think they have a three-step process. They have a step 1, engage, step 2, assess, step 3, either re-engage or leave the situation, allow another teammate to move in. Now we're going to see a lot of examples for Resident on that one, starting off with a lot. Now he's got a teammate over here, Magnus, that's kind of chilling out by the ball. They're going to work together to start off this engage thing. Magnus already engaging, a lot assessed. He's going to engage. He'll get right up into the play and allow Magnus to start his step 2 part, assess. So a lot jumps up to the ball. Here's his engage. Step number 1. Now, Magnus has the opportunity to either re-engage or get out of the play and try again. He's in his assess situation. Metsanaris is at the midfield. Magnus obviously sees, and by his jump there, that Metsanaris is coming in to engage. He assesses and leaves the situation. Now, a lot is in that situation once again. We've engaged, let's assess. Metsanaris is currently over here on the far side doing his engage step number 1. He'll do his assess in just a second. But a lot would like to engage again. He's assessed the situation, knows that Magnus isn't ready, is out of boost. A lot will have to stay in. He's running out of boost, but he's still good. This is how they keep the pressure. They know that 1 second with lack of pressure will allow Flipside to move back down onto their side and allow Flipside to start an attack. Now here you see it, Magnus, all boosted up behind the ball, will start his engage. A lot still in the situation, down to about 10 boost at this point though, realizes that Metsanaris down in the corner isn't ready to engage. He'll have to move back down into the play and engage one more time. I said this before and I'll say it again, but boost is a crutch, and a lot's going to prove that. There it is. A little bit of pressure is going to allow a lot just to keep that offense going. And now Metsanaris, who's moving in for an attack, will move up to the ball to get rid of that one. A lot, step number 2. What was that again? Oh yeah, it was assess. He assesses the situation, he knows Mets is coming in, and he knows Magnus is also there for some pressure. He finally has a chance to get out, get some boost of stealth. Step 1, step 2, step 3. It's what allowed Resident to keep so much pressure on the offense against Flipside tactics, and throughout the entire series, it didn't stop. Flipside, though, had to answer. We all know how this series went, and we all know that Flipside did answer eventually. And that was with some passing plays. You're going to see one of them right here. It wasn't the craziest of passing plays, but it was all 3 people involved. And I honestly think that was very critical to these guys finding the chemistry that they needed to be able to do that throughout the rest of the series. You're going to see the first initial touch from Marky Duda. Greasy Meister is just off screen down here, so Marky Duda is going to get a back pass. They're in the corner, lots of pressure. They know that they have Resident eSports defense a little bit scrambly at this point. So what does Greasy do? He slams one off the backboard. He knows that all 3 of his teammates are there and ready to attack. A lot. The last defender is leaving his net. You generally don't want to leave your net open, but Cooks knows that he has to. He has to get up for that. We already talked about how Resident knows that they have to keep the pressure on. So of course a lot is going to be up for that. Of course a lot is going to attack this one. Cooks here, up so quick, is able to get a goal, and there's the spark. This is what Flipside needed. We have another passing play to show you guys, and this time it starts on defense, then moves on to offense, and this is Flipside showing you exactly why passing plays can work absolutely anywhere. As we move forward, Marky Duda is going to receive a missed touch here from Magnus, who comes off the wall, trying to keep the pressure on. We know Resident is doing that. Flipside's aware of this. He sees Greasy Meister coming back. He knows Greasy Meister can't move this ball forward. He has an attacker, Metsanaris, behind the ball. So Greasy Meister right here has to do something with it, though. Marky Duda passes it to him, and it is able to get the pass off. But what can Greasy do? Can Greasy set up a play? Not particularly, but he can help Marky Duda out. Incredible touch from Greasy. He's been doing this throughout this entire series. Sends it backwards. I've seen way too many people just throw it up off the corner here and give the ball out to the opponents. Both Mets and I believe Magnus are ready to attack, and that probably would have been a goal. Cooks is moving back to the net, but is he ready to defend it by himself? Likely not. Marky Duda is going to be able to get a good read off of a Watt. That's who it was that was coming up, and set them onto offense. Without this defensive passing plays, they weren't going to get into offense at all. They might have actually been scored on. And being a goal down, you kind of want to get a goal. So this has been the turnaround. Now they're on offense. Let's just pass again. Let's do it again. So Cooks here, all boosted up, is going to send a pass up to Marky, who's going to grab one just before it hits the wall, turn it right back down to Greasy Meister. You see him in the far there, if you can't. Little tiny itty-bitty Greasy Meister. Look how cute he is. He's coming up for a play. He knows that Marky Duda is going to give that ball to him. So what does Marky do? He delivers. Now the defenders, well, there's only one defender, and it's a lot. There's not much you can do against a passing play that's coming in this fast. Magnus scrambles, tries to get there in time, but the passing play from defense to offense allowed Flipside to grab a goal, tying that game up. Now we all know the whole series ended up tying up when we hit a game number 7. We ended up in overtime, but before we got to that, we had Cooks here, a little bit off his step. Missed touches all around this corner. You're going to see him get a touch off the wall and then try to follow it up, but he misses. Cooks here, you can't be doing this. Now that's going to allow Resonant to be able to keep the pressure on, as we know. We talked about it in that first clip that they can do. Cooks here plays a little bit of a shark game, trying to get out of his own net. You can see him hesitate a few times, and that's not what you want, especially coming down to this final game. 3.5 minutes left, 0-0. You know it's going to stay that way for a while. Off the wall, one more mistouch. Cooks, what are you doing? That ball needs to go that way. You have two defenders chilling out, one just off screen here, and then Magnus chilling out at that boost pad. If you send that down into the corner where he does, they're just going to end up creating an attack. Because of that, because of this nervous play, Cuxer wasn't able to help his team really break out onto offense. You need all three people, and we saw it in the clip before, to be able to create those passing plays to move forward onto offense. Eventually, Cuxer realizes what needs to happen. With 1 minute left, they are down a goal. Resident eSports is ready to take this series and put themselves into LAN. Flipside doesn't want to let that happen. Previous world champions, I don't think we're getting kicked out quite yet. Cooks decides to move on to offense. There's Cooks here, ready to help Marky Duda and Greasy Meister put some pressure on. With a minute left, as I said, they absolutely needed that. There he is, just setting that off the backboard. It allows Greasy Meister and Marky Duda to boost up and start an attack. But he's not done yet. There he is again, putting that ball off the backboard. Now you're going to see Greasy Meister come up for this infamous double tap that allowed Marky Duda to get an insanely fast spin around. All three of them, though, on offense, creating pressure, all because Cookser stepped it up. Cookser stopped playing nervous. He's been on the big stage before, but folks, it doesn't go away. When you're at a point like this and potentially not even making it into LAN, the nerves start to kick in again. But we all know what happened at the end. Cooksier stepped it up, and Cooksier, as they got the game winner for themselves in the World Series number 2, they're going to get it in this one right here. Cooksier coming back from offense, down to defense, says, I'm just going to stay in and get a goal. Incredible series from both teams. Resident had an insane amount of pressure, and that's what I tried to show you. I mean, Greasy Meister played great throughout this entire series. Marky Duda had a bit of a rough start, eventually stepped it up near the end, and Cooksier had a little bit of nervousness in game number 7. But the main story is that Resident was able to put a lot of pressure on. They kept it throughout the series. Flipside hand answer. They did with passes, and then Cooksier finishing that one off. But we're not done with Flipside. Greasy Meister is going to be on the line next, as Wavepunk is going to have a one-on-one interview with him. You don't want to miss it. This is Overtime. Come on right back.
Solar eclipses. Solar eclipses. Solar eclipses.
Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we get started again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we get started.
Didn't change, I it is real.